So the iPhone 13 is this strange middle child in Apple's lineup that flies a bit under the radar. At first sight, it looks like the most boring update this year. It doesn't have the incredible battery life of the Pro Max, and it doesn't have the religious following of the Mini. And it also lacks the ProMotion screen that you get on the iPhone 13 Pro. But in many ways, the iPhone 13 is just the right phone. By the way, shout out to our sponsor Anker and their cool new MagGo magnetic chargers. Stay until the end to learn more about that. So the iPhone 13 is a balancing act. At $800, it is the iPhone that most people will buy. So it has to be just good enough without threatening the Pro models. But the more I use the Pro models, the more I am convinced that Apple has crossed a line there with weight, as both the Pro and the Pro Max feel excessively heavy and chunky, while the regular iPhone 13 remains much lighter and comfortable to carry in a pocket. The 6.1-inch screen is a good middle size for most people, and it looks absolutely incredible. Apple doesn't manufacture its own screens, but iPhones are calibrated to perfection, so colors have just the right amount of pop and automatic brightness adjustment happens smoothly. And this is also an HDR screen which truly shines with Netflix movies or other HDR content. Brightness also goes higher than before and than most other phones in this class at 800 nits. So the one issue with the iPhone 13, however, remains Face ID. COVID is still pretty much around and masks have become a part of our lives, and Face ID is a constant pain point. A fingerprint scanner embedded in the power button would have been just perfect, but so would have been a USB-C port, and Apple doesn't seem to listen much to those complaints, does it? Also, I've started complaining, so what's the point in the notch being a bit smaller when it's now poking into videos just enough to annoy everyone? I just don't get it. I will, however, give Apple a ton of credit for the loudspeakers here. They sound absolutely incredible. Play some music side by side on the iPhone 13 and rivals like the Pixel 6 or the Galaxy S21, it's a night and day difference. The iPhone is just so much louder with boomier bass and much more definition. It just brings both your music and videos to life, and this is seriously one of the most underrated features of this iPhone. And yes, the iPhone 13 has a newer chip and it has gotten just a bit faster, but speed has never been an issue on iPhones, so I actually wouldn't have known if not for benchmarks. But gamers would be delighted about this increase in speed. Whether it's Call of Duty or Asphalt, everything runs buttery smooth and graphics are pretty much maxed out. Now, turning to the camera, you'd think there aren't any big changes, but I would disagree. You get a familiar 26mm main lens coupled with a bigger sensor this year, and that's why the cameras are offset like that to accommodate for this bigger sensor. And this is actually the same sensor as we had on the iPhone 12 Pro Max from last year with sensor shift stabilization, and images from this iPhone 13 come out looking consistently great. And I also noticed that this is a very fast camera, something that you notice after shooting with the Pixel 6, for example, which is so slow to take a picture. This one is nearly instantaneous. The secondary camera is the same ultra-wide one as on the iPhone 12, no changes there, still 13mm, which comes in handy in tight spaces and gives you some epic perspectives. What I do miss, however, is not having a zoom camera here, and I know that's one thing Apple keeps for its Pro series, but seriously, zoom quality is embarrassingly bad here. Not only that, you can only shoot portrait photos at 1x or 26mm, which just isn't long enough. Even a slightly longer lens would help tremendously with that. Maybe a 35mm lens or a 2x zoom one, bring that back, Apple. And if you care about video quality, the iPhone 13 is just the right phone for you. I have discarded cinematic mode until I learned about this trick from DP Review, which is just shoot at f7 or f8 rather than the defaults, where you would get very noticeable artifacts. At f7 you still have a very pretty blurred background, just with a lot less of those artifacts and issues. It looks great. And the other thing is just regular 4K footage, which has the best video stabilization of any smartphone in our opinion, and detail is crisp and clear. Sure, this won't replace a real camera, but unless you're in film school or a professional, it's darn near close. Except for low light, of course. Smartphones are still not good at that, and if you're extra picky, you would notice a bit of annoying extra sharpness in all of your footage. However, all of that video goodness and high quality is held by having 128 gigs of onboard storage in this base model, so you no longer have to scramble for storage. And finally, battery life is the icing on the cake here. If there was one complaint with the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro, it was about battery life. With average use, the iPhone 13 lasts for a full day and then some, and it's hard to drain it in one day. Speaking in numbers, in our YouTube video streaming test, it ran for 8 hours and 15 minutes straight, while the iPhone 12 could only muster 6 hours and 38 minutes. And we had similar improvements in our web browsing test. So the iPhone 13 might sound boring and it might look mostly the same as the iPhone 12, but it has improved in all the right places. Do I wish it had a 120Hz screen? Sure, but I also wish the Pro iPhones weren't as heavy as they are. At the end of the day, the iPhone 13 is that Swiss knife of a phone that you can recommend to anyone and everyone. So one of the coolest tricks recent iPhones have is Magsafe, and it seems like that's one feature that will stick with iPhones for years to come, so a cool Magsafe accessory is a must-have. And this is where the Anker MagGo lineup comes in, and Anker is absolutely crushing it with these ones. So the MagGo lineup offers a ton of variety, and this also happens to be the first adaptive magnetic charging experience designed to fulfill different tech lifestyles. So all of these products look super stylish, come in various colors to match your iPhone, and for all of them you just seamlessly click, align and let the power flow. So the Anker 622 magnetic battery, for example, is the first all-round magnetic portable charging experience, so it houses a massive 5000 mAh battery and features a versatile built-in foldable kickstand. This is actually enough juice to provide all-day power for your iPhone, and is still super compact and slim at just 0.5 inches, plus you get this very strong magnetic connection. The battery pack actually charges via USB-C, and the port is bidirectional, meaning that you can use this power bank to charge other devices via a cable too. Neatly, you get a few LED lights on the bottom to tell you how much charge you have left. So finally, it's compatible with both the iPhone 12 and iPhone 13 series with magnetic phone cases, so check out the description to this video for a link and get your Anker magnetic battery right now. So this will do it for this review. Let me know your experience with the iPhone 13. What do you think about it? What do you like and what do you dislike about it? And what you want to see improved in the next iPhone 14. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed this. My name is Vic. This is PhoneArena, and I'll see you guys in the next one.